Okay, so we've had like what? 2 Pokemon Directs now, one which announced Sword and Shield, and the one very recently giving us more information about Sword and Shield. And I cannot for the life of me tell whether or not random encounters are coming back or not. Everyone keeps telling me different things, and I'm like, I don't think anyone knows. I have not seen anything definitive. Nonetheless, I can tell you right now that they definitely should not return. Random encounters stink, and here's why. Now, I apologize here and now if there's lots of random noises. There's so much noise in my house right now, I can't get away from it. And for some reason, in Florida, people like to be outside. They're insane. I don't know why anyone lives here. It's one of the worst states to live in, ever. There are a couple that I think are worse, but ugh, Florida stinks. Don't ever live here. Now, of course, let me also get this out of the way right now. This is an opinion, okay? Based partially in bias, just as the other side of this argument is also based heavily in bias, nostalgic bias. And I think this whole debate, it's not even a debate, it's just a thought on game mechanics. I think this whole discussion can go a lot smoother if both sides acknowledge we have bias. I have bias because even though I played Pokemon when I was a lot younger, I stopped playing them and didn't get back into them until Let's Go, and so I now am used to not having random encounters, and I really like that. Whereas people who did grow up playing Pokemon, 9 times out of 10, like 90% of the time, y'all have the nostalgia and the bias of, well, it's always had random encounters, so it has to be random encounters. No, it doesn't. Things can change, okay? Breath of the Wild changed Zelda in a lot of ways. Not all good, but a lot good. Change is good, sometimes. So this would be a good change. So let's just acknowledge that now. We both have our own biases, okay? I'm just giving my 2 cents as to why I think random encounters are a bad game mechanic and need to be eliminated from Pokemon games, or at least an option to be eliminated. If you can't handle someone with different opinions than you and different thought processes than you on certain game mechanics, and you're too busy staying on your high horse because you've always done random encounters and you never had a problem with them, just leave the video now. But for those of you that are open-minded to listening to different perspectives, even if we disagree, feel free to stay. So before I get into why I don't want random encounters to return, I want to make this disclaimer because I think it's something that gets overlooked in these discussions. I'm constantly being told we need random encounters because Let's Go was too easy. Part of what made Let's Go so easy is you didn't even have to battle the Pokemon. And I think we can all agree we should have to battle the Pokemon before we catch them. We should have to wear them out. That's how it used to be, and I think that's a good game mechanic that should return. And if I remember correctly, in Let's Go, you had to battle Snorlax. And I remember doing that and being like, that just made this game 10 times more fun, having to battle Snorlax instead of just throw constantly. So let's just get that out of the way right now. We all probably, at least 99.999% of us agree, you should have to battle Pokemon. You really should. I agree that that's something Let's Go did odd. Not necessarily did wrong because it was meant to entice those who played Pokemon Go only. So I understand why they didn't have the battle mechanic. Yeah, but it needs to return. We need to have to battle Pokemon. Like I said, as of right now, I have no idea whether random encounters are truly a thing or not in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, we have the Nintendo Direct happening tomorrow. Well, when you see this, it will have already happened. But for me, it's Monday, so tomorrow. And they might touch on that. I don't know how much they're going to touch on Pokemon since they just had a Direct for it, but we'll see. So getting to the whole point of this video, why do I not want random encounters? There are 2 main reasons. The first reason, and this is a small little thing, is I thought that seeing the Pokemon in the world made the game feel alive. It actually felt like I was living in the world of Pokemon. Okay, so it doesn't need to be as obvious as it was in that game. Some of them can be hidden in trees and small ones hidden in the grass, and those can be sort of random, but you should have an idea that they're there. It made the world feel alive. And looking back at the ones where, obviously they weren't out and about in the real world, I was like, it's so boring looking. It's just so boring looking. And my other reason why I don't want random encounters to return is, frankly, it's not a good mechanic. It just makes the game a grind. And the game is already kind of a grind. Well, at least Let's Go kind of was. Maybe it wouldn't have been as much of a grind if we had been able to battle Pokemon before catching. I don't know. Who knows? But speaking from the perspective of someone who kind of played them when they were younger and just now got back into them for Let's Go, so glad there weren't random encounters because it's just a grind. Yeah, I've had people try telling me, no, it makes the game more challenging. What about that mechanic actually makes it challenging other than running around, oh, that's not the Pokemon I wanted. That's not the Pokemon I wanted. With Let's Go, I could see it. It didn't make it easier, it just got rid of the grind. No one wants to grind. Grinding is stupid. I don't want the grind. So that's honestly my main two reasons. Seeing the Pokemon makes the world actually feel alive and actually feel like the world of Pokemon. And 2, random encounters are just a grind. They're dumb and I don't think they should return. But could there be a happy medium between these two worlds? The world of, we need to have random encounters because we've always had random encounters, in the world of, but Let's Go took out random encounters and that was actually really good because I didn't have to grind as much. Is there a happy medium? I think so. The first is bringing the battle mechanic back. Make us battle the Pokemon. I cannot emphasize that enough. I'm pretty sure they are making us battle Pokemon in Sword and Shield. I don't know why they wouldn't. So that's already a happy medium because I think both parties can agree. It was too easy to just be like, look, Pokemon. Yay. I mean, there were other elements to catching the Pokemon, I know that, but make us battle. This is the other happy medium I found. I don't know if this is possible in the game. They probably won't do it, but it's just something I want to throw out there. What if you could toggle it? What if you could choose to have random encounters on or off? Or partial? You know, what if the game starts off as it's random encounters on, so you don't see any Pokemon in the world. You don't see any. But you can say random encounters off, so you can see the Pokemon in the world. And, you know, again, not have the grind. I'm being a tad sassier than I expected to be in this video. Nothing wrong with sassiness, but it might be coming across wrong. I don't know. This is all still an opinion, I'm just saying. Neither side is right or wrong. It's just different ideas of how we want the game to go. Throwing that out there again. But imagine it. Imagine if you could choose whether you had random encounters or not. If you want to say one's easy mode and one's hard mode, I would say one's grind mode and one's non-grind mode. To each their own, whatever. But think about all the people that came in from Let's Go. Whether you like Let's Go or not, they were solid games for what their intended purpose was. And their intended purpose was to bring in new Pokemon players. And it did that super well. Yeah, it made it a lot easier. Again, you didn't have to battle Pokemon, but its intended purpose was met and thus makes it a very solid game, even if you yourself don't enjoy it. Which is fine, you don't have to enjoy it. All those people that were brought in, and now they want to play Pokemon Sword and Shield, and all of a sudden the Pokemon aren't in the world. At least for me, going into it, I'd be like, well, now the world feels boring. I don't even see the Pokemon anymore. Just saying, I think that'd be too much. If you couldn't tell, this video was unscripted because I thought I scripted it, but apparently that file's been lost. I don't know why. Whatever. I don't know, that's just me. I think that'd be a good happy medium. Give us the option because, you know, those of y'all that want random encounters are dead set on your nostalgia and wanting those random encounters because that's how it's always been and apparently makes it more challenging. Fine. They should give y'all that option and then give those of us that don't want the grind and want the world to feel alive the option to not have random encounters. Also, just speaking logically, not that Pokemon follows logic. It's video game. Fantasy. Who randomly encounters an Onix? Like I said, this is just my opinion as someone who did not grow up on the Pokemon games and just got back into them recently. I do think we need to battle the Pokemon, but I don't think random encounters should return. It's just a grind. It's a dumb mechanic that needs to die. But I know there are so many of y'all that are so attached to it because you grew up with it. And you don't want that to change, just like a lot of people didn't want Zelda to change. I get it. I really do. And we can just acknowledge to agree to disagree because neither is right and neither is wrong. I just would prefer not to have the random encounters because again, it's a grind and it makes the world feel dull. In my opinion. But hey, I have met a few people who grew up on Pokemon that actually agree and think that random encounters should die. So if you're one of those people who grew up on Pokemon and you also don't want random encounters, let me know. Because there are very few of you out there. But again, I can't emphasize enough how much of just pure opinion this was. I mean, I have my reasons to back up my opinion, but I mean, Game Freak's gonna do what they want and we can't do anything about it. I personally don't think I can bring myself to buy Pokemon Sword and Shield if we're gonna have to suffer through random encounters. The game was already a grind enough as it was. I don't want to deal with it, but what does my purchase really matter? I'm just one person. Others will buy it and that's great. If you love random encounters and they have random encounters in Sword and Shield, awesome. I just don't want them. If you also think random encounters are dumb and just a grind, let me know by liking the video or commenting, subscribing, whatever. If you haven't already watched it, I probably have a video somewhere around, I don't know, of my reaction to the Direct, which would have been yesterday at the time of this video going up, but it hasn't happened yet for me because it's tomorrow, because today's Monday when I'm recording this. Hopefully some awesome stuff happened in the Direct, I don't know. Hasn't happened yet for me. But when you're watching this, it has happened. Sorry that was kind of all over the place because I didn't script it, my bad. I promise I'll be scripting my videos from here on out. It's just been a crazy past couple of weeks and I'm still sore from the dance performances I was a part of. Got bruises like everywhere. Ow. But that is all for today. Thank you for watching. And of course, thank you so much to my patrons like Justin, Greg, and Andrew. Y'all's support is very much appreciated. And if anyone else would like to get in on the special stuff that I offer my patrons, just go to patreon.com/thegeekapprentice. The link is in the description below.